Okay.
Hello yogis, we're here to make a video for you that focuses on healthy bones. As we age, the calcium that's necessary for our bones to remain strong can be leached out of the body by the excessive use of caffeine, for one thing, and of carbonated drinks. Even fizzy water will leach calcium from your bones. The carbon in the fizzy water can carry calcium away. And caffeine, as I say, also erodes calcium. I know many of us are very conscious of maintaining healthy bones, and so we are looking at ways in which we can bring calcium into the body. But yoga also will support you as you maintain healthy bones. One of the signature aspects of yoga is the work of the muscles rubbing against the bones as we bear weight. And the signal to the bones is, stay strong. The tendons and ligaments that pull and rub and stretch around the joints also signal to the bones, be strong. So when we're working with a yoga practice to support the health of bones, we have so many yoga asanas or postures that we can do to maintain that strength. As you can see in this practice today, we have 2 wooden bricks, and maybe you have facsimiles for wooden bricks, a blanket and a belt. And we've created a bit of a loop in the belt because we're going to use that today as well. When we stand, just the practice of standing requires that the bones support the weight of the body. As we stand, we take the feet together. You see the inner edges of the big toes together. Maybe the ankle bones can join, and the heels will most likely remain apart. We're gripping the muscles against the bone in Tadasana, the mountain pose. We're extending the arms from the shoulder blades and the shoulder joints into the fingertips. Now, as you take Tadasana, as you stand, can you feel the difference between resisting the floor, pushing down into the floor and firming, but also tightening or hardening the body? This is a resistance position, as if we can't truly trust the earth or surface beneath us. Here, another attitude and position is to allow the body to sink into the surface below us. Here the body has, in a sense, surrendered to gravity and to the surface. Tadasana brings us into a position which is neither hardened and resistant nor surrendered. It's a position of alignment, front and back, and side to side. We could imagine ourselves attached both to the heavens above and the earth below. That seems to me the human condition. In Tadasana, bringing the arms forward, interlacing the fingers, and turning the palms away engages the muscles and bones of the fingers and hands, the arms, including the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. From here, when we stretch the arms up, we are lengthening the entire bone body from the waist to the palms upward, and at the same time, lengthening the lower body, the hips, the pelvis, the legs, the feet, downward. As we go up, we're making space in the body. Taking the arms forward, we can change the interlace such that the other index finger comes on top,
The palms turn away, the shoulders drop down from the earlobes, the arms extend. As you take this position, this is Tadasana, and the action of the arms and hands is Baddha or Parvatasana. As you take this position, are you resisting the floor, or is there a softness in the stretch upward? Or are you crumbling? Are the elbows bending, the knees bending, the spine bending? Is gravity drawing you down? What's the feeling tone in your body as you stretch up in this way? To release the posture, free the hands and take the arms to the sides. Now we'll take the belt loop. And as we bring the belt loop across the left shoulder, I'm turning my back to you so that you can see the belt loop in its place and the right arm sliding between the belt and the back body. This is strengthening the shoulder complex, the shoulder blade included. As I reach up across the belt and turn the left palm up to the ceiling, I reactivated the reach and bending the elbows, there's my belt. In this position, not only are we working for flexibility of the arms and shoulders, but we're also encouraging strength of the bones. Your posture might look like this, or you might be able to take the left arm across, bring the forearm into the back body, and slide the hand a little higher, such that when you reach up, back and down, the fingertips might be available to you. That pose, called Gomukhasan, or cow face pose, keep in mind that in India, among Hindus, the cow is a sacred animal, and the elbows are the cow's ears. The posture from the front, the belt loop now over the right shoulder, the left arm skimming past the body and bending at the elbow catches the belt. I reach behind with the right hand and draw the elbow toward the midline. This arm now is turned up. Just the simple action of turning the arm bone in the shoulder joint is a strengthening action. It's also an action that works for flexibility. As the arm reaches up, the side body obliges. It lifts the arm, the elbow bends, and the fingers may catch each other in the back. But look from the side now. See how if I try to push the front body forward, I'm straining the back. So I have to be careful to take the back body back to touch the arm behind me. As I do that, the bone body is more vertical. To come out, we simply release the clasp and stretch into the fingertips. In showing these poses, Tadasana, Baddha, Gomukhasan, we're giving just a taste of some of the sequence that we'll be teaching this week, starting May 25th, 2020. We're coming back to the studio. So you're getting a taste of the class that is designed for healthy bones. Here are some of the other postures that will help to strengthen the bones. Again, I'm going to use my belt loop. And as I step with the left heel against the wall, the left foot turned away, step the right foot into the room, turn the heel, I'm just placing my belt loop over the foot. And I'm shortening my belt loop a little. Here, as I turn sideways, my back hand is coming to the wall. And I'm working now to take the tailbone into the body and to align the breastbone with the navel so that as I start to stretch sideways, this right hip slides back to the wall. This outer hip moves back to the wall, and I start to come sideways. And you can see my hand wrapping around the belt loop. And I found now, that's the length of the belt loop I need to work with right now, so that I can turn my trunk away from the floor and stretch. This posture, Untitled Konasana, is a tremendous strengthener for the feet, the legs, the pelvis, the spine. If balance is there, you can extend the top arm and spread the chest even more. When you're ready to come up, look forward so your neck is neutral. Release the clasp of the belt, take the left hand to the wall, turn the right leg forward, and step the feet together for the second side. On the second side, it's the right foot that's coming against the wall. It's the left foot that's striding into the room, and the belt is slipping over the left foot across the arch of the foot. I'm going to shorten the belt now. I learned on the first side that this belt loop size is more appropriate for me. Coming into the posture, the tailbone comes into the body. The bottom of the breastbone moves towards the navel. Now this bone body has an aligned feature. As I work into the posture, the outer left hip is moving back, and now I'm starting to descend toward the floor, and the chest is turning away from the floor. In this posture, the strength of the shoulder girdle, that's your collarbones, your shoulder joints, where the arm joins into the shoulder. The upper arm lifting is weight bearing, is strengthening. To come out, we look forward, we release the belt, we come up, we turn the feet, and we step the feet together to complete the posture. There are postures you can do on the floor which are also strengthening. Baddha Konasana is one of them. I'll show. Sitting sideways on my mat, I stretch the legs to the corners of the mat. The mat now is like a little grid. It tells me, oh, that heel reached toward the corner right there. Can this heel reach toward the corner similarly? Even this position, sitting upright, is a tremendous strengthener of the bone body. The actions in the pose, stretching the heels away, pressing the thighs into the floor, stretching the calves, pressing the shins down, all of those actions require that the muscles, ligaments, and tendons rub the bones. The bones are being told, be strong. Baddha Konasana also brings with it flexibility. So you get both strength and flexibility. In Baddha Konasana, we've shown coming forward in the pose. Now, why should this posture strengthen bones? Because it's isometric. It's the body using the body to resist. Here, the thighs, feet, shins are pressing down. The pelvis is coming to vertical. As we draw the low abdomen to the navel, pubic bone lifts. That's an isometric action. You'll feel the effort, and the effort is strengthening. In this position, we could sit upright and still enjoy the benefits of the strengthening, or we could say, I could do a little bit more here. You know from previous classes how the pelvis nutates. In other words, the sits bones come out behind. We could take the hands to the two wooden bricks like this, press the hands down, and now we're bringing effort to the arms, the shoulders, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. You'll feel the effort and know that the effort is contributing to strength. So stay in this posture. For those of us who experience a slight rounding of the upper back, for us, the big work here is to lift the vertebra off the discs below. It's a tremendously strong action, strengthening the bones. To come out, we reach inside the knees, draw the knees directly up, and then we're ready to take the next pose, which is also a strengthener. I'm going to use the blanket just to give a little bit more support for sitting before we take Baddha Konasana. This pose is well known because it's a favorite, because it's both comfortable, but it also provides us with challenges. In Baddha Konasana, the bottoms of the feet, or soles, S-O-L-E-S, of the feet, are joined together. Toe pads, toe mounds joined together. You can see as I sit here that my knees are well lifted, way above my waist. If I couldn't release the knees toward the floor, I would definitely sit on more support, maybe a few foam blocks, or maybe wedge the bricks in under the blanket. But I know I can release those thighs. I'm sitting at the front edge of the blanket. I'm clasping the feet as we did in Baddha. Clasping the feet, I press the feet down, and as the feet press down, the thighs, most particularly the outer thighs, begin to release toward the floor. They're nowhere near what I feel this body could do, but I'd have to stay in order to find the full range of the capacity for the thighs to turn in the hip sockets. This is a bone strengthener. Right now, the femoral neck, the neck of the thigh bone, is assisting the ball of the bone to turn in the socket. The message is, stay strong, bones. Stay. Do you see how in Upavishta Konasana and Baddha Konasana, these postures might be used as restorative postures and at the same time as postures which bring strength to the bone body. In Baddha Konasana, we've explored bringing a wooden brick in between the feet, and we've noticed how, as we press the wooden brick and press the thighs down, the stretch in this posture comes to a slightly different place in the inner thighs. I'm pressing the brick quite firmly and releasing the inner thighs. That's the flexibility piece, is the inner groin stretching to the inner knees. It's wonderful. It will help with balance, it will help with walking, it will help with standing. But there's this other feature, this strengthening feature. The feet right now are strengthening. There are 26 bones in the feet, like 26 letters in the alphabet. And each little bone in each foot is being commanded by the muscles and ligaments to be strong. When you slip the wooden brick out from between the feet, voila, the thighs drop even more, which tells you the flexibility piece is there. Another way to work with this pose, such that you could stay in the pose, is to take your thumbs, to wrap the thumbs around the big toe mounds and to draw the feet away from each other and out to the sides, like this, including the heels, so that you begin to catch glimpses of the bottom of the feet. This is tremendously strengthening for the feet, for the ankles, for the shin bones, for the thigh bones, for the hip bones. And there's resistance here as well as the trunk lifts out of the pelvis and away from the floor. Baddha Konasana is a bone strengthening posture. Draw the knees together to come out of the pose and just let the legs go long as a kind of release from the sensations of the inner thighs, the stretching sensations. Here, we're taking another posture, Adho Mukha Svanasana, but I want to show using the 2 bricks, if you happen to have them, how just on all 4s, the hands can move by virtue of moving the arm bones in the shoulder socket. We could take the hands to face inward in this way and lift the inner wrist area away from the brick like that. This now is focusing on the finger bones, the hand bones, the arm bones, and the shoulder bones. The joints of the fingers, called the knuckles, the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulder joints are strengthening. I'm not leaning into the bricks, letting the elbows sink. No, I'm pushing against the bricks to strengthen through the isometric exercise of resisting the brick. Similarly, you can turn the hands out like this, press down into the mounds of the fingers and thumb, and lift away from the bricks. Again, it's the isometric action that brings strength to the arms, hands, fingers. You could also turn the bricks parallel to each other in this fashion and turn the hand completely toward you like this. And again, you're stretching and strengthening the bones of the arms, the shoulders, and in the upper back, the shoulder joints. All of this is helpful. The shoulder blade strengthening, the shoulder joints, the collarbones, the arms, the joints in the fingers, all strengthening. Then when we take the classical pose, if you're working with bricks, you could place them against the base of the wall if you were concerned that the bricks might slip away from you. We always want to keep in mind ahimsa, that we cause no harm. In this case, I'm showing the bricks away from the wall. I want you to see I'm choosing to take the hands in the classical position now with the index fingers parallel to each other. The sit bones stretch back toward the heels. I want to get my down dog length. I know I can go back just a little bit further, so let's get our full down dog length. And then take all 4s, coil the toes of the feet forward, lift the knees a little, and push now with the hands to the bricks. The chest comes to the thighs and the feet stretch back and down. We're weight bearing. We're weight bearing on the feet, the legs, on the arms and shoulders, and in between, the spine is lengthening. And so the entire bone body is being commanded to be strong. In downward facing dog, as we've said in previous classes, build your stamina. You notice today we didn't dive straight into this posture. We took some time to strengthen and to stretch. But once you come to downward facing dog, set your timer or count your breaths. In downward facing dog, we want to work toward, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, but we want to work toward 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then 4 minutes, and finally, maybe not finally, 5 minutes. Because staying in the posture has a multitude of benefits. And so you could say some days, I'm just going to make this posture my focus. I'm going to build up the strength in downward facing dog, because you'll know that your hands, your feet, all of the bones of the body are responding with strength. Our final posture, Prasarita Padottanasana. It's a pose that you've seen frequently on our videos. And you know that the width of the stride is such that the wrist joints are vertically aligned over the ankle joints. Then I know that the stride is appropriate. With the hands on the hips, are you resisting the floor or are you sinking into the floor? When you pivot over the hip sockets and take your fingertips to the floor, there's a tremendous request of the feet and legs to be strong. You lift the inner arches of the feet and roll the little toe side of the feet to the floor. You lengthen from heel to little toe the outer edges of the feet, taking the heels away from each other a little. There's tremendous request for strength in the feet, the ankles, the shins, knees, thighs, and hips. And as you stretch the spine forward, just taking this downward dog look to your prasarita, you're getting the length of the spine, and so when you take the hands back and lower the head to the floor, or to your bricks, or some facsimile, now the feet are touching the floor, the hands are touching the floor, the head is touching the floor, the entire body has to lift away from the floor. Sits bones up and wide, forearms vertical, upper arms parallel, head forward, hands forward, knees bending and hopping the feet together, hands to the hips to come up. Again, Prasarita Padottanasana can be held a minute. And it's during the holding of the postures that the bones are commanded, be strong, maintain throughout our lifetime. The final posture of all is Shavasan. And you might want to take Shavasan from Viparita Karani, for example. To do that, you simply need a flat folded blanket. You could take legs up the wall. And even in this passive position, legs up the wall, pelvis to the wall, blanket for the neck and skull, even as the legs soften. You can see that there's softening around the knee joints, the ankle joints, the feet. The arms expand, but they too soften and drop into the floor. But the legs, vertical as they are becoming stronger in Viparita Karani. In this posture, the outer body is set in its place, and then the mind withdraws. The senses withdraw. The sense of looking, of hearing, of tasting, touching, smelling. All of the senses draw inward so that the yogi, that's you, begins to explore another dimension of yoga, the inner realm, which can be approached in a state of calm, quiet, peaceful, compassionate curiosity. What thoughts come up for you? What feelings do you notice? Do they carry you away into the story of your life? Or can you simply identify as thoughts and feelings arise? Just that. Oh, I'm thinking about this. Oh, I'm feeling that. And as you notice and name, like the beautiful clouds above our city, they drift away and are replaced by still other thoughts and feelings. It's never ending. The changes of mood and thought and feeling pass through us, but as a very wise one said, you are the sky, and all of the clouds and rain and sun and wind, that's just the weather. So as a peaceful sky, receiving all of that activity,
thunder, lightning, clouds, and rain. The sky doesn't change. It just accepts, receives, and releases. To come out, draw the knees in, support your head, take a side lying position, and when you come up, know that your postures have created for you physical strength,
emotional strength, and something else. A sense, perhaps, that you are not alone. You are greater than the sum of your parts. And as you accept that and know that about yourself, there's a deep sense of peace. Namaste.